Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello, whoa.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Not too much. Well, I thought not too much until you told me everything that was going on today.
Yeah.
But I just want to point out, we are 6 days away, apparently, before they start filming Godzilla vs. Kong.
Ooh. What's up, Vaughn? 6 days away from Godzilla vs. Kong film.
And I am seriously considering going to Atlanta to try to be an extra in this movie. But yeah.
It was
You
so
imagine?
funny is the other day I was looking through the YouTube and they found, I can't remember if it was 50, I think it was the 60s. It was an old King Kong cartoon. They showed the opener to that. It's like, oh my God.
Wow. What's up, Vaughn?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. So 6 days away from Godzilla vs. Kong filming, which is great news.
Yep.
All right. So how do you feel about BumbleBee?
Oh, boy.
Dying to know.
I can already hear the angry comments that we're going to get for this one.
I saw something frightening that you posted on your Facebook.
Yep.
Which I wanted to ask you about. Because, I thought you don't like Michael Bay, but so why don't you just get into that? So let's
I don't have a problem with Michael Bay. I actually want him to come back, to be honest. I know that's gonna be the catalyst that just sets everything off in the comments.
So the door's opening.
So how bad could it be? Because you didn't really want him to do it anymore.
Okay, well, okay. This is my stance on this.
Okay.
Right? I was upset, and I still am upset with Michael Bay with what he did with The Last Night, because I think The Last Night was an absolute mess. It was the only one of the movies of the Transformers series that I didn't like.
Okay.
However, I am of the opinion that not all of that was his fault, because apparently the studio or whoever edited a lot of that movie.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm wondering what actually happened during the post-production of that movie. It may have been Michael Bay completely, I have no idea. But from what I've heard, that's not the case. That it was him that, really made, the movie was a disaster, but it was really the story, or lack thereof, which they just started adding things in there, which if you know the timeline of these movies, which I've tried to keep up with,
right,
some of the things that they said happened just didn't make sense. So, my biggest issue with BumbleBee is this. I am of the same opinion that I was with Han Solo. I like Han Solo. Didn't think he needed a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bumblebee. I don't think he needs a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know why they're making a Bumblebee movie, because Bumblebee makes Hasbro a lot of money.
Yeah, buttload.
Despite people hating these movies, Bumblebee is one of their top-selling characters.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who says they're not is they're either lying to themselves, or they hate these movies so much that they're not willing to admit that one part of it is actually really good.
Right.
So, and that's a very small majority of people, or a small minority of people, excuse me.
Right.
So this is my thing. Everybody's losing their minds because they're using G1 designs in the movie.
Right.
Now, when I saw the quote-unquote Blitzwing, because I'm still not convinced that that's actually Blitzwing, when I saw him in the first Bumblebee trailer, I thought that design looked really cool. And I was like, okay, it's kind of got the G1-esque, design there, but there's still some of that, like what we've seen in the movies is still there.
Right.
I do not, and this is just my opinion, I do not want to see the G1 designs in this movie series.
Why?
And they've literally taken them from the cartoon and the comic, technically.
Yeah, somebody commented about that.
And they put them in the movie it's like almost a 1-to-1 ratio. Like they literally did in the cartoon. And I'm sorry, it just looks really goofy to me.
Is that in the trailer the second form that he takes?
Who?
Bumblebee.
I don't know. I'm mainly referring to Optimus Prime is in this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is one of them. Like it's almost like completely G1.
Right.
And I'm sorry. I think that all of them, except for Bumblebee. Bumblebee looks okay, and Blitzwing, quote unquote, looks okay. Even the two triple changer Decepticons, they both look okay. But when I saw Soundwave,
Okay.
who's like the big Decepticon. I love Soundwave. I think Soundwave is great. But when I saw his design, I was just like, that looks.
It was spot on for the series.
It was spot on for G1, but when I see this in the movie, I'm just like, what am I watching? Am I watching G1 or am I watching the movie? Then I saw Shockwave.
I forget if it was one of our casts.
Shockwave looked fucking ridiculous.
Shockwave looks awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Design, he looks terrible. I don't care what anybody says. The Dark of the Moon Shockwave design is superior to the movie. To just the movie. I'm not saying to G1. I'm saying to the movie. I am of the opinion that the G1 designs in the cartoon are superior to the movie. But when you try to replicate the G1 designs in the movie, it looks stupid to me. I'm sorry. I saw that and I said, I don't know if I want to see this anymore.
Right.
Because that looks really bad.
I forget if it was our cast or another cast, but someone was talking about how there was one, they like the spiderish looking or almost skeletal-like ones from the first ones opposed to this.
Well, my thing is like the G1 designs were good because they were simple and it was like you can picture these robots going into whatever they transform into. But this isn't G1. We are not in G1 anymore. And everybody, like not everybody, but like a lot of people are like, it has to be G1 or it's not right. And it's like that makes no sense. These characters have changed for years. The whole essence of Transformers is change.
Right.
So why are I don't understand why people have this if it's not G1, it's not Transformers. And it's like that's ridiculous. There have been countless numbers of reimaginings of these characters. What is the problem?
Right.
It doesn't match my childhood, so sad.
I'm sorry, Megatron in the movie, he cannot transform into a gun.
No, he can't.
Make sense.
People would have a shit fit.
Where does the mask go? Where does it go? And I know someone's going to say, well, the Allspark changed. Okay, Megatron's not the Allspark.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw this,
and they very really showed him in gun form in the series as well. So
he was a gun in G1, and
yeah,
but the whole point of that was because what was the most evil thing that children could think of?
A gun.
A gun. The Decepticons turned into military vehicles because they wanted them to be scary. You notice most of the Autobots turned into like regular cars and trucks back then. There was a reason for that. But I'm sorry. Now the trailer was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a good trailer. Right. But when I saw the G1 things, I was like, that looks like the War for Cybertron game. And
that's probably where they pulled it from too.
And honestly, the War for Cybertron game had better designs. I'm just gonna say.
See, I'm having a problem with this. Is a Bumblebee movie, right? But what is the overall purpose of this movie? Is it to reboot softly Transformers? But now Optimus is in it. Now, isn't it kind of messing up the canon or no?
Not really. It's just like we need to see the movie before we can say
because Optimus is not there, but he is. In other words, he went to Earth first.
Well, I mean that's always been the story.
Yeah.
But again, this is an issue too for the last night is that they were saying that not only we already knew that the Transformers had been coming here, coming to Earth for thousands of years. What we
Right.
didn't know until the last night was that they were coming to Earth and interacting with humans way in the past. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you watch the first movie, Sector 7 had, they had Megatron, they had the Allspark, but all of this stuff was kind of new to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were still learning as they went. In this movie, we've got John Cena's character, who's apparently part of the early Sector 7. He's, like, literally having a face-to-face conversation with the two Triple Changer Decepticons.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. So how come nobody knew? Like, what's going on? But I don't know. Maybe his character dies, and maybe they hide the information. I don't know. You have to see the movie. I'm kind of confused, though, because these G1 designs, that is not what protoforms, and for those of you who don't know, protoforms are what Transformers are before they trans-scan something
Right.
and transform into it. That's not what protoforms look like in this series. We know what they look like. They released a toy for the first movie. It was 2 preview figures of Optimus Prime and Starscream in their protoforms. They looked nothing like what's in this trailer. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing anymore. It's really kind of confusing to me.
Okay. But you think it's going to be good, though? Or no?
I think the story is going to be good. I don't know what the purpose of. See, if you ask me, if somebody came to me and was like, "Do you want to see a Bumblebee movie?" I'd be like, "Hell no."
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
You know who I think should have a movie? A new character that we haven't seen. Like, I don't know, Ultra Magnus.
Right.
Maybe you adapt The Last Stand of the Wreckers.
So they're just doing it because popularity. That's why.
I think the point of this is A, to make money off of Bumblebee. B,
Right.
to potentially reinvigorate the Transformers series after the last night.
Well, why don't they just give him an opportunity to fix it?
Who, Michael Bay?
Yeah.
Because he's done. He said he doesn't want to do anymore.
I'll take a break. He'll come back.
That's what I said. He's gonna.
Blow up with dump trucks and anybody.
He'll come. Listen, he what did I say to you, like, about the Turtles thing? How he really wants to do another one. He's going to use his influence, right? He did.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's a sequel. It's not a reboot. So he's going to take a break, and then he's going to fix Transformers.
Well, honestly, at this point, I mean, sure, I wouldn't mind him coming back, but if they wanted to get another director in there who kind of wanted to either do like a soft reboot, like you were saying, or continue what they were doing, I'm fine with that. It's just, I'm personally just tired of Bumblebee.
I got to tell you what, that whole movie never appealed to me.
Yeah.
And I was so turned. We were talking about it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was so turned off by it. I have it recorded for like a year, and I haven't watched it.
Don't watch it. It's not worth it. It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
Nobody watched it.
Decent, but it's nothing I would go back and rewatch.
But I want to watch it because I want to see how fucking bad it is.
Now, I'll say this. There are parts in it that I would tell you to watch because there are certain parts that are actually really cool.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's everything around those parts that's just awful.
Right.
Like, just some of the worst stuff that I've seen out of this series.
I'm gonna try to watch it within the next week or so. I'm definitely gonna try to do that.
And just to kind of wrap up, like, you know, I don't want Optimus Prime to get a movie. I don't want Megatron to get a movie. I don't want Starscream to get a movie.
See, this is not like I think what they're doing is they're looking at all these other different franchises.
Oh yeah.
And they're trying to emulate what they're doing, and this would be great if they have just like Sony wants to have a movie for Black Cat and Silver Sable and Kraven the Hunter and Morbius Living Vampire. I don't want to see these movies.
Not a solo flick.
Some of these movies, I don't want to see Mysterio the movie. I'm sorry, I don't want to see it.
Right.
It just, you wouldn't expect to see it. So, I don't know. It's just
And they're saying that if Bumblebee does well, that Optimus Prime is either going to get a movie or a TV show. And I'm like, don't.
Oh, don't.
No.
No. We've
I don't
got
want
Transformers that should that's where it should be. It should stay with Transformers.
Right.
Don't need solo separate things about, this is the crankshaft of this character who went on to become a headmaster and blah, blah, blah.
I don't need to see, like, if they were going to follow what Optimus Prime's story was beforehand,
right.
I don't need to see that because I know what Optimus Prime was, and a lot of people know what Optimus Prime was before he was Optimus Prime.
Right.
Here's a spoiler, everybody. He was a librarian.
Hmm.
That sounds like a riveting show to me.
Yeah.
Ooh, here's the Dewey Decimal System. I'm going to,
Literally, that's what he did. He would keep track of records, I think, in the Iacon library.
Jesus Christ.
And in his off time, he would watch, like, Megatron. I mean, this is like the later origin of Optimus Prime, but it's like he would watch and listen to Megatron, who at the time was called Megatronus. He would listen to Megatron because Megatron was a gladiator. Now that sounds a little bit more like a movie I would want to see. You know,
Wait, if he was a gladiator and Optimus was a librarian, how the hell did Optimus kick his ass half the time then?
So this is like the Transformers Prime kind of origin.
Okay.
But I mean, it stems from what they did in G1 somewhat as well. When Optimus, his original name was Orion Pax.
Okay.
And eventually he met Megatron because Cybertron was in turmoil. Basically, like politically, it was like the worst case scenario, and everything was basically going to hell.
Yeah.
And Megatron was the one that was like, we can do better. I can make us be better. You know, that kind of thing.
And then he's like, I can make it better, right? Or whatever, right?
At the time, Optimus was like, you know, yeah, this guy he's right. I don't agree with the way he's doing it, but he's right. That's why in these
basically
movies,
it's like a Julius Caesar type of setup.
yeah. And I think that they would go that route because Optimus Prime and Megatron repeatedly call each other brothers. They're not actually brothers. What they're trying to say is that at one time, they fought for the same side.
Right.
So that's what I think they would do. I think they would literally just take the Prime origin and be like, yeah, Optimus was Orion Pax in the library. Megatron was fighting in the gladiator pits. He named himself after Megatronus, who apparently was the name of the Prime that would become the Fallen. So,
right.
I don't know. I wasn't happy with the G1 designs. That's basically
we get that. Yeah.
In the movie. I have no problem with the G1 designs normally, but
right.
extrapolated and put into the movie, that's where I'm like, nope.
Yeah. What about you, Vaughn? You into Transformers?
Not really.
Yeah. All right, but what about this Joker stuff going on now? Because what do you make of that with Joaquin Phoenix?
I think he looks great. To be honest with you.
Same here.
I think that the suit, you can definitely see kind of like the Cesar Romero kind of
Yes, that's what I thought too.
I think that's what they're doing is they're doing a throwback to him as an ode.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Of course, the face and the hair, that looks like Heath Ledger. But
right.
I have a theory too about the makeup, because I know a lot of people are kind of upset with the makeup. I think what we're seeing, and I could be wrong, but I think that might be maybe his first time, like when he first put it on.
Okay.
And throughout the movie, it's going to become more and more
evolved,
recognizable as the Joker. I don't know. I could be wrong.
There was a painting of a clown. I forget the name of it, but to me, that's what it reminds me of, is that painting in which, almost like Jerry Lewis's little clown makeup at one time.
Well, let me ask you a question. What is the time period that this takes place in?
I heard the 80s in Gotham.
Okay, and this is also an alternate universe.
Yeah, this apparently is not connected to the DCEU.
Which will mean it will succeed.
And we even had the guy that created Jared Leto's Joker regretting making him tattooed and his look he says now that was not that was definitely the wrong thing to do, and he kind of ruined the way people looked at Jared Leto's Joker. By making him tattooed and everything. Now, do you think does that mean that because Jared Leto's Joker is still going to be around, are they going to change him now to make him different?
I don't think they can.
No,
I think it's too
too
late.
much to canon into that movie now.
I mean, wouldn't the Joker be unpredictable and just change his own look anyway?
That would be pretty drastic.
I mean, he's not,
I mean, in the comics, one of them, the Joker cut off his face. So I mean,
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Anything's possible. But
in the comics, also, he's supposed to be immortal because of that thing that we found out that even if he dies or his face he heals like Wolverine. Like he keeps coming back from the dead, and in fact, I think he even infected like Batman with it, so that way Batman could be eternal, immortal also, and they could fight throughout time, like never dying, never aging. I don't know if that's still canon, but
my question is not to change the subject, but my question is, let's say this Joker movie does really, really well. Like I'm talking like really well, critically, financially. The reception is just over the moon.
Yeah.
What do they do?
They go and do another movie in that universe.
Right. So now you have two universes in the same.
First of all, they need to label it. Listen, first of all, when the movie starts, they need to label it like Earth 2 or something.
No, they're not going to do that.
But they're going to confuse the shit out of people, though.
I know, but they're not going to do that because I honestly think they're trying to keep this as far away from like a universe as possible.
But they have to. Here's the thing: at some point in time, people are going. Listen, yes, some people will know, but some people need to have it. Universe 1, Universe 2, like they need to flat out say it because people are going to get fucking confused, and then some people are going to make us think about it.
I don't think they're going to go.
Those are going to be the shit disturbers.
I don't think they're going to even mention it. I honestly think they're just going to.
They gotta have to. When this movie makes $700 million and makes it the most profitable movie in history for like a villain or something, then they're gonna have to do something because now they're gonna have to make movies in that universe.
Well, if they go that far, then yes. But I think if they're just right now, if they're just putting this out. I think they're counting on people being smart enough to be like, yeah, that's not the same actor.
But see, the problem is this is not going to be the first time they do this. They're going to keep doing this, and at some point in time, they need to tell the people this is Earth 3, Earth 4, or because it's going to do it multiple times. Though I heard.
Well,
just.
We have to wait and see because
the Batman movie technically might be another universe also. So that they need to address, like, one, what?
Where did you hear that?
Well, isn't it not with Ben Affleck?
No, apparently it still is.
Ben Affleck, first of all, Ben Affleck just said he's staying in rehab.
We don't know if it's going to be Ben Affleck himself, but it's going to be the same Batman, apparently.
So in other words, we could have a movie where Batman just shows his face, but not Bruce Wayne?
No, it would still be Bruce Wayne. They would just have to recast the character.
So Ben Affleck will be Bruce Wayne and somebody else will play Batman?
No. It would be a different Bruce Wayne and a different Batman.
Okay. But
it's the same Batman. It's just a different actor.
So they're gonna go that route. We
don't know. We don't have any other information about the Batman, but from what we know, it's still apparently connected to the DCEU.
Okay.
So there's only technically there's the DCEU and this Joker movie.
Right.
Right now.
Right. Now another thing. Is Birds of Prey part of the same universe as Suicide Squad?
Apparently so.
The what?
So wait a minute.
Wait, what?
You're telling me she's confined with the government until they send her on missions, right? But in this movie, she's not going to be with the government, and she's going to be like with her own group. But then they're going to be going back into the government again.
Anymore.
But she's in Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah, but remember at the end of Suicide Squad 1? The
He
Joker
broke her out.
of prison. So she's
Okay.
not with the government anymore.
So, but how is she going to be in the movie with Suicide Squad? They're going to have to hunt her down?
I'm assuming that somehow she's going to catch up with them.
Okay.
Because
she
literally,
just
Suicide Squad 2 is, I think, the furthest thing from their mind right now.
well, the script was handed in.
Yes. But, I mean, it's like, I don't even know where that shows up on the release.
That's what I'm saying. There's too many Harley Quinn movies.
You got to remember, too, that they've got that Harley Quinn and Joker movie. And then I think they have a separate Joker movie, too. So, I mean.
Yes. That's the problem I'm trying to say is that they're more focused on Harley Quinn 1, 2, and 3, even though it's different movies she's in, than Man of Steel 2 or like whatever. I mean, another thing I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the Wonder Woman movie all of a sudden. Because before Wonder Woman was the moneymaker. It did phenomenal the first movie, and you just assumed, 2 and 3 is definitely happening because of Wonder Woman 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm getting the impression, if this is true, that they're sort of doing a thing with, like where Spider-Man made a deal with the devil to save Aunt May, that Wonder Woman's going to make a deal with a devil god to save Steve Trevor.
Like Hades?
Yeah. And this is going to create this, whatever the fuck's going to happen with him coming back and then Cheetah but she wouldn't do that, though, would she?
To be honest,
well, I don't think the character would deal with a demonic, like a god, to bring back your boyfriend. I mean, I understand that's love of her life, but didn't technically she have a romance with Ben Affleck's Batman?
Well, they were setting that up, quote unquote.
I mean, that was insinuated.
Yeah, but
a lot.
I don't know enough about Wonder Woman to like say yes or no she would do that. But
isn't it like her movies? Her movies basically like a paradox, splintering away from the DCEU because stuff happens in her movie that was not canon though. Like it was not supposed to be, right?
Well, no, like what?
Well, there was that thing that she said that she in the movies was a DCEU. What the hell movie was it that contradicted Wonder Woman?
Oh, how she said she like stepped away from humanity for however long, but she didn't. That's a continuity error. That's just them not
being on the same page,
syncing things up as they could, unless I don't know, unless something.
But wouldn't this movie, because it takes place in 1984, wouldn't this movie affect the DCEU also, because now they're going and changing her history again? Put Steve Trevor in it, because when she's looking at the photo, she was miserable that he died, but now he didn't die there.
Well, I honestly don't think, even if he does come back, that he's going to make it out of this movie.
Like he's going to die again.
He's going to die again or whatever.
He may have died of old age or something like that. So
that'd be stupid. I don't know.
I think either what's going to happen is that she's going to be like, oh, I screwed up. I shouldn't have made this deal, if that's what she does. Or he's going to be like, what did you do to bring me back? And he's like, what the hell? And then...
Right, he's going to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, a Wonder Woman...
He'd go back and sacrifice himself to save her, too.
I know, but... Well, we don't know. We still don't know about Wonder Woman. Because I'm kind of up in the air about Kristen Wiig's casting of her as Cheetah. I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, I could be wrong.
A funny feeling she's going to actually do really well.
Yeah, she probably will.
I really do. I think that, like, maybe...
I know she's going crazy training for this thing.
Yeah, with like, the right direction, I have a funny feeling she's going to do a lot better than, like, a lot. Because I was kind of like, what the hell? When I heard that. But then I was like, oh, well, maybe.
Well, what's her name really had faith in her. The director, right?
I think so,
The director, I mean, are they friends or something? Yeah, she's like, I want her. And it's like, her? You know, but then again, you know, Michael Keaton, I'm like, what? When it happened, you know, so I've been wrong too, I mean, but. And now this other thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going ahead with
Oh.
James Gunn's script.
Yeah, because his brother was supposed to have came
He
out
said
and
that it's happening. It's
that
happening.
Gunn's brother came out and says, yeah, there's looking like they might be using his script.
Yeah.
Oh, goody.
Which means that technically that falls in line with he isn't done with Disney because he is still under the payroll of Disney until the movie comes out because he needs to fix the script if something goes wrong technically, right? So is it possible that James Gunn is going to remain a silent person where he's giving them scripts and not being part of it himself?
Talk about like Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Right. Meaning like, oh, we don't like your past, we don't like your this, but you do make good movies, so you can give a script.
I'm sorry, it sort of contradicts their thing that they want to totally say, Gunn, you did your mistake.
I
We wipe our
understand
hands
that.
at you. So,
I mean, what do you say about that, Chris? I mean, that would also contradict then, maybe because they couldn't change the Infinity War. Maybe because not Infinity War. Because I heard they originally wanted to change Avengers 4.
Yeah.
And
I would personally wait until we hear something official from Disney because James Gunn, no offense to his brother, but he can say whatever he wants. It's not real until Disney says, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So is it possible that what he's saying is real? Absolutely. Is it possible that they go to him for, direction on some of these things and maybe things in the future? Sure. Do I think that's what they're going to do? No, because I think they're too stubborn to do that. I think that they're going to either say, yeah, we're using his script, but hey, Mr. Director or Miss Director, do what you want with this. Or they're going to be like, yeah, let's keep it as close to what he has here as possible.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would just say wait for an official announcement because, we've heard stranger things in the past. And we also don't know. There's always that chance that because he said this, that they're like, oh, well, we're not doing that now.
yeah.
Right.
And then they flip the script literally, and then that's it.
Mm.
So I hope that he's right. I hope that what he's saying is right, but I don't know.
Right.
I'm always kind of leery with things like this because it's like, well, you are his brother.
Right.
Like,
Now, what? Another thing we have, Phase 4. Spider-Man: Far From Home is the first movie of Phase 4, and we've heard stuff about Black Widow having a movie in Phase 4. We heard Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Ant-Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Captain Marvel 2, Nova, Externals. What do you think, Chris, is going to be part of Phase 4?
I'm thinking probably everything you just said.
Fantastic Four.
Well, no, that's too early. That's too early. They
What
don't
I'm
get it until
interested,
2020.
I'm interested in because apparently from what they've said, Avengers 4 is the last Avengers movie.
No.
I'm wondering what they're gonna lead up to. Like what is that like what are these movies gonna lead up to if it's not gonna be an Avengers film?
Avengers 4 is the last Avengers movie?
They said it's the last Avengers, like that's gonna be the last big event titled Avengers.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
get the really?
I wonder what I'm okay with that because it kind of wraps up what we've seen these past 2 years in a nice little,
Well, I'm worried about that because the only reason they would have to end the Avengers is if they create something else like the Defenders with Silver Surfer, Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Namor to try to build that up so the Avengers wouldn't be having the spotlight. But again, they already had the Defenders with Netflix, which is technically the same universe. So, but I am worried about that because what they could do is they could do an Invaders movie, which showed that in the past Captain America was with Namor and his team before the Avengers, but that would get kind of mixed, crazy. But I think that's what they're doing. I think that they're going to. They want to have a big team like Avengers, but they don't want Avengers to take the spotlight. But that doesn't mean there's not going to be an Avengers movie anymore because might be a new Avengers movie. Like
That's what I was just about to say. They might call it something like the New Avengers or something like that, or the Next Avengers. Or
which I don't know if that would work. But
I mean, I'm just waiting to see what they do. I'm interested in what is this going to lead to, because apparently, from what I've heard, and again, we don't know this until we see Captain Marvel, but
yeah,
I think that the Skrull invasion is going to be the next big thing.
yeah, I agree, and I think that what's the name is a scroll that it's going to wipe out the Accords too.
Yeah.
That the government was part of the Accords, and it was the Skrulls, and that would basically wipe that out. Would you please get rid of the Accords, please?
Which would honestly be a creative way to get the Fantastic Four in there.
Yeah, please.
And they're hinting as well, if I remember right, about either last week or so, that Wanda is going to be a mutant.
Which means they're going to change it back in the comics.
Yeah.
Which they already spent years trying to change it the other way, which is annoying, by the way. So.
And they're only doing that because they're getting 20th Century Fox. Come on.
Yeah. Basically.
Have you also? I didn't get to hear what you guys thought of all this, but have you heard all the issues that this Captain Marvel trailer is causing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we only got 2 minutes, but I know people didn't like it as much, right?
Yeah.
As every other Marvel trailer, although they were saying it did 100 million and all those other views and whatever. I looked at it and I'm like, okay. It wasn't it wasn't like the greatest trailer I've ever seen. And the problem with that is that every time
scotched around too much.
See, every time you see a Marvel trailer, I'm like, this is the greatest Marvel trailer I've ever seen. But I didn't get that this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, well, do I want to go into big detail about this? I mean, it is the first trailer, and it's the first female for Marvel, and am I being too hard on it? But we would have to create another cast to talk about that, because I don't want to just rush through it. So let's do that. Let's create another one.
All right.
All right?
All right.
All right. Take care. Bye. Okay, guys. Take care. Bye for now.